Hello my dear students and welcome once again. As you can see on your screen, lesson number 9 is there. The topic is light. So what is light? Light is a form of energy. It's a form of energy which makes the things visible to us and we are able to see the things with the help of eye. In case there is no light, you won't be able to see anything. Okay, you can see me right now because I'm standing under the light. In case the room is dark, you can hear my voice but you cannot see me. So let's start the chapter now, light. Okay, so to start with, you can see on your screens. Okay, light enables us to see things around us. Our eyes cannot see if there is no light. Light is a form of energy which I told you right now. Light is a form of energy which enables us to see the things. Okay, it is essential for life on earth. During the day, sunlight enables us to see things, and during night, man-made light help us to see things around us. In the daytime, you have sun. Okay, when the light of the sun is there, you can see different things. But at night, when there is no sun, the man-made lights are there, due to which you are able to see the different objects around yourself. Okay, now different sources of light. Okay, light is a form of energy. Objects that give out light are called luminous objects. On the other hand, objects which do not give out their own light are called non-luminous objects. Sun, stars, electric bulb are all luminous objects, and non-luminous objects can only be seen when light coming from luminous objects fall on them. It's not like that you cannot see non-luminous objects. You can see them also, but the moment the light falls on them, you are able to see the things. Okay, now moving to the next page. Okay, natural sources of light. What are the natural sources of light, children? I told you about the sun. The sun comes in the daytime and it is the ultimate, you can say it is the ultimate source of energy. Okay, it is the main source of energy through which we are getting different forms of energy. Okay, now sources of light which occur in nature are called natural sources of light. Example are sun, moon, stars and firefly. Firefly, you must have seen, it's called Jugnu in Hindi. Okay, you must have seen this insect, especially in the summers. You can see where there are a lot of plants and all. They're just a small insect which keep on flying. Okay, then man-made sources of light. The sources of light that are made by man to assist them in seeing things are called man-made sources of light. Example are candle, kerosene oil lamp, torch, electric bulb, electric tube light, flashlight, etc. There are so many things which the man has made. Earlier we were using candles and lanterns, but with the advancement of science and technology, different sources of light are used. We are using light to even decorate our houses and all. It's not only that we are using so that we can see the things, but for different things, for different purposes, on small locations, we decorate our houses with the lights. Okay, now depending upon how much light an object allows to pass through them, it has been categorized into 3 parts. Okay, we'll talk about transparent, translucent and opaque materials. Okay. Okay. When light falls on a material, of one of the following 3 things can happen. Almost all of the light that falls on the material passes through it. Puri ki puri light, it allows the material part, let the whole of the light passes through it. Okay, it may allow some part, or it does not allow any light to pass. Okay, now based on the above property, the objects are classified as transparent, translucent and object. If I talk about transparent objects, when light falls on a material and most of it passes through it, such materials are called transparent materials. We can see through such materials clearly. Example of transparent materials are clean glass, clean water, clean air, some plastic, cellophane sheet, etc. The materials which allow maximum light to pass through them are known as transparent materials. Now, if I talk about translucent materials, what are translucent materials, children? Materials that allow light to pass through them only partially are called translucent materials. Okay, light passes, but not all. Only some part of it is passed. Okay, and those materials are known as translucent object. Okay, example of it is muddy water, clouds, frosted or grounded glass, a sheet of cotton, cloth, etc. Okay, now if we talk about opaque objects, okay, opaque materials. These are the materials which do not allow the light to pass at all. Okay, materials that do not allow light to pass through them are called opaque objects. Okay, such as cardboard, table, chair, book. Okay, these are all opaque objects. Okay, now activity is there to identify if the material given is transparent, opaque or translucent. You can just go through it. Okay, now the next one, propagation of light. What is the meaning of propagation of light? Now, when traveling of light is called propagation of light. How the way that light is traveling. Light travels or propagates in a straight line. Light always travels in a straight line. It will not go here and there. It will always move in a straight line. This can be proved by a following example. When we switch on a flashlight torch, it falls straight in the direction we are holding the torch. If I take a torch in my hand and I switch it on, what will happen? The light will start coming out. Okay, it will start from here only. In case instead of this pen, I had a torch. Okay, so the moment the the flash is on, what will happen? The light will start falling in the direction I am holding the torch. Okay. It never falls on the things right or left to us unless we turn it to that direction. When a car flashes its headlight, they also fall straight on the road ahead and not on the footpath on the sides of the road. You must have seen in the night, at night when you're traveling, Papa or mother is, your mother or father is driving and he or she is, they are doing? They are opening the flashlight. If the flashlight will fall on the road only, it will not go here and there. Okay. Then we can see the rays of sunlight coming from a room to a window. They also come in straight line. Now this activity is there to show that light travels in a straight line. You can just go through it. Okay. Then moving to the next page. Rays and beam. Okay. Ray and beam. You should know what a ray is and what a beam is. Okay. For representing light in a diagram, we use straight line with an arrowhead. Light is represented with the help of rays and beams. See, this is a ray and this is a straight line with an arrow. A ray is a straight line that represents light. The direction of light is represented by an arrow head of the line. A diagram which represents light with a ray is called a ray diagram. A group of light rays moving in a particular direction is called a beam of light. When single is there, it's called a ray. And all together, many of rays, when they combine together, they form beam. Okay. Now, what are shadows? Shadow hoti hai parchhaiyan. Okay. So, we start. We know that opaque objects do not allow light to pass through them. When an opaque objects come in the path of a light ray or beam of light, it creates an area of darkness on the side opposite to the source of light. This area of darkness is called shadow. Fine. Shadow क्या होती है? When opaque objects come in the path of the light, okay, a dark patch is formed and that is known as shadow. Translucent objects also create a shadow, but it is very light and not as dark as compared to the opaque objects. It's not like that only opaque objects create shadow. Translucent objects can also make a shadow, but if you compare both the shadows, the shadow formed by an opaque object would be darker, but a shadow formed by a translucent object, it would be very light. Okay, so for a shadow to be formed, following three things are required: a source of light, an opaque object, a screen or surface behind the opaque object on which the shadow can be see. So now what are the characteristics of shadow? Okay, characteristics of shadow. A shadow is always black in color. It does not have any color. It is not colorful. It is always black in color. Okay. A shadow only defines the outline or the shape of the object. It will only define the outline. Okay. In case the shadow of a ball is there, it would be like this. Okay. No, it won't show the color of the ball or anything. It would be just a outline. Okay. The size of the shadow depends upon the distance of the object from the source of light and the object from the screen behind. Okay. So there is one more activity you can just go through to obtain a shadow and study its characteristic. Just go through it. Okay. Now moving to the next page. Pinhole camera. Okay. How will you make a pinhole camera and what pinhole camera is? It consists of a closed tube that has a small pinhole in the front. Pinhole means a very small hole. Okay. A translucent screen is present at the back. This translucent screen is made of butter paper which acts as a screen and the image is formed on this screen. The working of a pinhole camera is based on the principle that light travels in a straight line. In a pinhole camera, an inverted image of the object is formed on the screen. The human eye also works like the pinhole camera. Okay, how will you make a pinhole camera? This is an activity. You can just go through it. Okay, it is very simple. You can just go through it, children. Okay, the working and how you have to make and the working is all explained over here. Then the next topic is reflection. Okay, what is reflection, children? When light falls on any object. Okay, when light falls on any object, it sends it back to the medium it came from. The bouncing back of light from the surface of an object is called reflection of light. Reflection is the phenomena of deflection of light rays from a surface of an object. Means reflection means the bouncing back of the light. Okay, when the light falls on an object, okay, what happens? It bounces back. That is known as reflection. Now, when light rays fall on the smooth polished surface, they get deflected in the same direction. It can also be said that a smooth plane surface deflects parallel rays of light. This is known as regular reflection. When light falls on the ground on a rough and a bumpy surface, the light rays get deflected in different directions. Such deflection is called diffuse reflection. Here you can see on your screens also. This diagram is there. In case the object has a plane surface, the incident ray and reflected ray would be parallel. But in case the surface is not smooth, it is all rough, the incident ray and the reflected ray they would be having a diffuse reflection. They won't be parallel. Okay. Now, the rays that fall on a surface are called incident ray and the rays that are reflected from a surface are called reflected ray. See, these are incident ray and these are all reflected. Okay. Now, moving to the next one. Mirror. What is a mirror? A mirror reflects all the light rays that are incident on it. This is the reason why we are able to see ourselves and our surroundings so clearly in a mirror. Surfaces which are highly polishable and shiny reflect light very well and we are able to see ourselves in them. Mirrors are usually made from silver metal, which is the shiniest metal. Mirrors are present in our dressing rooms, bathrooms and in saloons. Okay. A plain mirror is a thin, flat, smooth sheet of glass. It has a silver coating on its back which is protected by a red coat of paint. The silver metals makes a mirror more shiny and thus all the light rays are reflected. The clear glass is so smooth surface and thus produces a regular reflection. You must have seen the mirrors which we use in a house, they are plain mirrors. We can see our reflection in that. Okay. So now we'll talk about images. When we see ourselves in the mirror, we see our face, hands and whole body in it. Actually, we are seeing a reflection in the mirror. This reflection is called image. When we stand in front of the mirror and see ourselves, we can see everything. We have eyes, nose, hand. We can see all the parts properly and clearly. Okay. So this is called image. Okay. When an object of is placed in front of the mirror, the light falling on the object is reflected to the mirror. The mirror reflects that light which enters our eyes and we see the image of the object. What is happening? The light is falling. It is falling on the mirror. Then what is happening? It is reflecting back to our eyes, and when it reaches our eyes, we can see the image of the object. Okay. Now, characteristic of image formed by plane mirror. First is the image form is erect. Okay. The image is partially inverted. It is of the same size as the object. When we see ourselves, the size I am going to see myself the same. Okay, in case the child sees himself in the mirror, the child is small, he will see his own reflection. The size of the image will not change. It would the size, you can say the size of the image would be same as the size of the object. Okay, and the image form would be erected. Okay. Now, the next one, difference between shadow and image. Okay, what is the difference? Image is, it gives detail of the object. It only gives the outline of the object. In case you see the image, you will find all the detail, minute details also you can see, but if you talk about shadow, only the outline would be there. Okay, it gives detail of color of the object. It is always black. It displays lateral inversion and it does not display lateral inversion. Okay. Now, what are eclipses? You all know the sun is a source of light, but the earth and the moon are not. When light falls on the earth or the moon, do they cast shadows? Yes. The eclipse of the sun and the moon occur because of these shadows. Okay. When the sun, the moon and the earth falls in a straight line, eclipse occur. When do we have eclipse? Whenever all these three, the earth, the sun and the moon, they come in a straight line, you can find an eclipse is there. Okay. Now, we'll talk about solar eclipse. What is a solar eclipse? When the moon comes between the sun and the earth, the shadow of the moon hides sun from the earth, thereby causing solar eclipse. You can see this diagram is there. What is happening? This is sun and this is earth. What comes in between? Moon is coming in between the sun and the earth. Okay, so we will have a solar eclipse over there. Then lunar eclipse. When the earth comes between the sun and the moon, the shadow of the earth blocks the view of the moon, causing lunar eclipse. Okay. Here you can see solar eclipse. What is happening in solar eclipse? The moon, the moon is coming in between, but in the lunar eclipse, the earth comes in between. Okay. Now moving to the next one. I think with this we have finished the chapter. It's my request to you all, once again, kindly go through the chapter so that all your doubts and everything is clear. Thank you and have a nice day.